Alright, so it's been about not even a minute since my last video, or since I made my last video. See how long it takes for these videos to upload. I'm trying to keep them not too long, but not too short and not in depth. But this one is going to be a long one. This is G&P WOC M4. This was originally the challenge kit. E-Vike has them, some other stores have them. The challenge kit basically is it gives you a gas blowback rifle for only about $159. This is the AR-15 version on E-Vike was $159. The other versions, which are not too different, they only have a difference of some minor things plus what is printed on the lower receiver right here. So yeah, a gas blowback rifle for $159. Wow, that's less than some airsoft pistols. That's because this gun comes fully disassembled. I'm not talking about field strip where the bolt is out, the upper and lower receivers separated, the charging handles to this side. I'm talking about fully disassembled. The barrels out, inner barrels out, the hop-up assembly is disassembled, the front side post is not even on the barrel. The bolt is apart, the nozzle is apart, the lower receiver, the trigger, the hammer, the sear, the selector, the full auto disconnect, the mag release, the dust cover, everything is apart. Even the forward assist right here is apart. This gun, I think the only thing that was not taken apart, like I've said in my previous video, was this spring-loaded D-ring that holds the forward handguards on. That's the only thing that wasn't apart. Even so, it's not really hard to put that one together. But I have done a lot to this gun. For me, I have experience with AR-15s, M16s, and M4s from my military career and civilian hobbies and passions. So I've had a lot of time with this platform. I knew this gun pretty much goes together pretty close to an actual AR-15. Unlike your WE and other platforms, the trigger assemblies on those are a little different and not as accurate per se as G&P, WA, and Tasco, some Japanese company. Those ones, their trigger groups, most of the rifles are pretty damn close. Now, when I say close, I do not mean that it's easy to convert this to shoot real rounds. No. You can have an engine that has all the same exact parts but made out of plastic and it does not run. I mean, even though even the internals are close to an actual AR-15, it will not fire. So no, don't go be trying to say, oh, it's easy. I mean, you can do it. I'm not going to say you can't, but you're going to have a hell of a lot of time, and the amount of money you're going to put in to make an airsoft gun shoot a real round, you're going to be looking more expensive than an actual going to the gun store or buying off the black market or whatever. Like, you can't, no matter how realistic the inside or outside is of an airsoft gun, no matter how realistic it is, you can't just drop in something and it will shoot. It takes time. The only reason why you can get these in the US from a US website is because the ATF has already gone over these weapons, or airsoft weapons, and tried to figure out, can they shoot real rounds? Is it easy to convert them to shoot real rounds? And it is not easy. It takes knowledge, it takes a lot of money, and it takes a lot of work. And with all that factored in, criminals will more likely try to just steal a gun or buy a gun from a gun store in another state or some shit or whatever. Which you can't even actually do. You can't just go to another state, buy a gun, and bring it here. You can try, but it's most likely not going to happen. Anyway, so yes, this comes fully disassembled. Every little pin, spring, piece of metal pretty much is disassembled. Took me about 2 to 3 hours to put this together. Like I said, I had experience. The manual they give you is in-depth enough to kind of get a gist of how things go together. If not, there are a few YouTube videos of people putting a G&P together from the kit, so you're not totally at loss. But it took me about 2 to 3 hours. Standard gas blowback rifle to begin with, and about a year later, this beast is heavily modified. Well, not heavily. Where do I start? Okay, before I can actually take apart the gun and show you what I've done on the inside, let me go over the outside. Besides flashlights and whatever, I got flashlight up here. I have a side mounted sling swivel. Instead of having the sling swivel on the bottom near the bayonet lug, this is a side one, which mounts, if you can see it, to the side for a 3-point sling. 3-point slings don't really like to be underneath the barrel, they like to be on the side, because if you have a 3-point sling, you know. If you don't, 3-point sling sort of is a system that kind of lays across the side of the rifle, not on the bottom from here to here. But yeah, that's one thing. I had that for so long, I don't know where I got it. They're not too expensive, I believe. It's full metal. Comes in a few pieces. You slide it in, put 2 pins, and it's on. I have the rifle comes with a standard plastic, no rails handguard for the front. So obviously I put a quad rail system in here. These are just some covers for the rails. That's kind of pretty much almost a drop-in item. Not too much work has to be done to do that. I have a 45-degree mounted little red dot sight. It's kind of stupid right now because I have 2 red dots. Doesn't make much sense, but I just keep it on here because it's easier to just keep on here than having to take it on and off, because sometimes I switch between this and a scope, like a 4-power, like a ACOG. The other outer thing I've done to this, which, wait for it, is a folding stock. I got this folding stock adapter off Wish. It was pretty cheap, very skeptical, but I was like, you know what, this would seem pretty cool, and I was kind of spending happy. Now, if you're not familiar with an M4 AR-15 type weapon, since this is a gas blowback and actually has a bolt that goes back with every shot, you cannot fire this with the stock folded. It even says on here, on the back, which you probably won't even see because it's just stamped in, do not fire. Because if you're using this on a real weapon, the bolt is going to go probably flying back, something's going to hit you, and someone's going to get hurt or worse, killed. So I have fired this with the stock folded just to see what happened. This is only an airsoft gun. I pointed it pretty much in a safe direction and pulled the trigger. All that really happened was the bolt sort of went back, and I mean, I'm not going to shoot it, but I'll show you how it looked when I pulled the trigger. So pretty much the bolt went back like that. So all happened is the bolt popped up. So yeah, you can fire it once with it folded, but it's I wouldn't do it. The folding stock kit comes with both for gas blowback and AEG. If you want to mount this on your AEG, it comes with a sort of separate mounting plate to mount to an AEG frame. If you have an AEG, you can fire it folded, obviously. A little bit about it. It's just a folding adapter. It comes with a couple pieces that screw into the upper receiver. So there's a threaded part that goes both into the upper receiver and into the actual plate itself. I'm not gonna go too much into it. Obviously, since you're adding a hinge system to it, you're kind of elongating the buffer system by about inch and a half. So they give you this piece of metal, which if you're going to get this for a G&P or WA type system, you're gonna have to grind this part a lot, or else it's not gonna fit inside of your bolt carrier. Had O-rings in there. I just took them out, grounded it. It doesn't have to stick in there. It just has to sort of be able to drop in and be as a spacer. So yeah, that is why this looks so mold up, is because I got it stuck in there and trying to pull it out, I molded up. Now, you do not want to get this stuck in your bolt. If you get this stuck in your bolt and it's inside of your gun, you're not going to be able to take this gun apart without having to pretty much fully disassemble that. And even if so, you might not even get the bolt out. I can't stress this enough. Do not get this stuck inside your bolt carrier when your bolt carrier is inside of your weapon. It's just going to be a bad day. Oh, when I said this piece threads into the upper receiver, I meant the lower receiver. It's just a little adapter. It pretty much goes on top. You screw it in, and it's almost like putting on a buffer tube, but twice, pretty much. You put this on like a buffer tube, and then you put the buffer tube actually on the adapter. So you pretty much put a buffer tube in twice. But yeah, can't stress enough. If this is loose inside of here, when it's in your bolt and everything, and it falls out when you're holding your bolt out of the gun, then that is fine. That is good. But I can't stress enough. You do not want to get this stuck inside of your weapon, inside of the bolt, or else you can't get it apart, because this goes into the bolt. So if I were to try to break this down shotgun style right now, or just try to break down this rifle in general, it won't let me. I took the pin out, as you can see. The pin, you can see it, I can't, whatever. The pin, I took the pin out. The pin is out. I can't break it apart. That's because this is inside of the bolt carrier, and the bolt carrier sits flush between the lower and the upper receiver parts. So you can't get this out. So yes, when taking apart your rifle, it is a bit of an extra step. You gotta unfold the stock. You gotta then pull out this piece, and then you can break it down shotgun style. Yeah, I mean, it's neat. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna take it off somewhere in the near future. Since this is an M4, it's already pretty compact itself. Also, you can't really shoot it. Well, you can't shoot it at all, really, with it folded. So unlike a PDW or some other type, you can't shoot folded. So there's no real added benefit besides carrying it around. But since this is an M4, one, it's already compact enough, and two, if I'm carrying it around and I don't have a big backpack, which I usually have big backpacks, I can fit like M16s, then I would just break it down totally. I take the upper and lower receiver off, separate them, and boom, that's compact. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm actually probably going to take this off, and I'm actually planning on getting another G&P WOC challenge kit, but the M16 version with the full stock, full length barrel. Then I might see what it looks like putting that on here if I even can. Because since that is a longer rifle, having the stock folded might help with carrying and lugging around. So we'll see. If not, I probably might not even put them on any of them and just have it sitting around. But I got this off Wish, and it was like, I think around $30 or something, maybe less. But yeah, alright, let me take it down more. Took the piece out so I can break it down shotgun style. Also, don't forget to put this back in when you go to rack the bolt, or else your bolt kind of gets stuck back there and it's a pain in the ass. You gotta take the whole buffer tube off. You gotta take everything off in order to. So yeah, when putting this in, make sure it does not get stuck. Make sure it comes out easily. And when putting your rifle back together, make sure you put this back in, or else you're gonna have a fucking shit day. Happened once. My friend was like, "Oh, that's cool," and put together. Forgot to put this in, racked the bolt, and it was stuck. It took a lot of time. Now for internals, bolt bolt latch, bolt lock, or bolt release, stock. The whole firing pin assembly back here is stock. The magazine release is stock. The pins are stock. The only thing I had to upgrade was the buffer retention. Obviously right now with this you don't need it because the buffer is held back here and not up here. So technically I don't even need to have the buffer retention spring pin. I can take that out, but I'm just gonna keep it in, just in case if I take this off I don't gotta hunt down and put this back in. But also the hammer, the trigger, the sears in here been replaced with a RA Tech 3-round burst trigger group, the original model, not the ambidextrous, obviously. Full auto's cool. Gas blowbacks, you have those cooldowns where you get a sluggish fire rate and the power goes down and it's dunk dunk dunk, you know. So running full auto, you're not going to be doing an actual whole mag dump. I mean, if you are, kudos to you, but most people, if they ever go full auto, if they're not going semi with a GB with a gas blowback rifle in a game, they're going to be doing a little burst fire with the full auto. Plus I like 3-round burst. I think it's awesome. When I was in the Marine Corps, our rifles have 3-round burst, the M16A4. So, which actually is going to happen when I get the M16A4 challenge kit, is I'm going to take the trigger group out of here, put it in there, take the original semi and full auto trigger group and put them by M4. So it'll kind of be more mil spec. I believe the Army is actually switching to full auto M4s instead of burst anyway. So I actually have an actual M16A4. What people don't know is an M16A4 is a rifle with 3-round burst. I could be slightly wrong, but I am like 95% sure that an M16A4 is a semi and 3-round burst full length M16. And an M4 A1 is a semi and full auto. Don't quote me. I mean, there might be a full auto M16A4 out there, but to my knowledge, M16A4 is a M16 with 3-round burst and semi. So I'm gonna switch this over. I'm not gonna pay for another 3-round burst. 3-round burst kits are expensive. 3-round burst kit is like almost $100 to $130. It's almost the same price as this challenge kit. This M4 was $159. So this little trigger group in here was almost the same price as the whole weapon itself, but I like it. It's cool. But yeah, 3-round burst is a little bit better. You get more consistency with you don't have the tendency of having cooldown. Obviously, if you're just spamming the trigger on 3-round burst, you will have that cooldown effect. Even with semi, if you pull the trigger fast enough, you will get that cooldown effect. But this will just help mitigate it a little bit in high tense situations. So if I'm trying to spam the trigger, it's not going to really... If I go to hold down the trigger in a situation and I panic or whatever, it's not going to just do a mag dump and then all of a sudden next thing you know I got to fucking replace the magazine while I'm being in a high stress situation. So that's why I have 3-round burst. Plus 3-round burst is cool. Not many people have a 3-round burst gas blowback M4 or M16. Like I said, the trigger group is highly expensive, and most people, if they have a gas blowback rifle, I've seen are mostly WE, and they have a drop-in trigger group, so you can't put this in a WE or other. I think you can't put it in a WE, you can't put it in a KWA, you can't put it in a KJW M4. It's only really work with G&P WA, Insinako, or whatever that Japanese company is called, Viper Tech. But Viper Tech, their M4s and M16s are like almost $1,000 stock. and Sinaco, they're a little more expensive and harder to get. So is Vipertech. Vipertech's pretty hard to get. WA and G&P, those are the most likely ones you're gonna find. I'm not so sure if these 3-round burst trigger groups work in GHK M4s. I want to say no, but definitely do your own research. Don't 100% quote me. But yeah, don't quote me if I don't show you. You don't see me doing it, don't quote me on it. That should be a lot of people on YouTube. But anyway, so putting the rifle back together. Do not rack the bolt, because you still gotta put this in. This drops in. You want to make sure that the flat notch on the bottom is on the bottom, or else it's gonna hang up on your buffer spring retention pin, which, if I show you, is right there. This is the buffer right here. So anyway, there you go. Then you can rack it. Like I said, I don't have a chrono. I do need one, not just to make these videos and show you guys, oh, my gun shoots this or whatever. I need one because I want to go start playing airsoft again. I haven't done it in a couple of years. I've just mostly been collecting just for fun. But I want to start playing again, and I have no idea where this thing shoots at. I heard it shoots around 400 to 420 in some cases. I need to bring this bad boy down to 350 to run in indoor games. Outdoor games, they a little less strict with gas blowback rifle FPSs. You could just classify this as a DMR, and you can shoot like, I think, 450 and higher. But yeah, so I'm gonna get an end pass system in here to put in the bolt. It's a negative pressure something system or whatever. One, it helps with consistency of each shot, and you can also, there's ones that are adjustable, which is the one I'm getting. I think it's made by Matrix, that fits right into this bolt assembly I have right now. I'm not paying for an RA Tech one. Those are like expensive as hell, and I'd have to get a whole new bolt carrier. But the Matrix one drops in here. I've heard some mixed reviews about it, but I'm just gonna run it for now, see what happens. But I need to get this down to 350, because I'm pretty sure this is not shooting 350. I think this is probably shooting around the 400, maybe a 390 FPS group. So I have to get this down, or else I'm just gonna be running pistols. And I'm not running that shotgun for a while. So that is the last review I have so far. I'll definitely post videos some other day of my RC car collection and what I've done to those, which is going to be long. And then also post up build videos when I get new weapons in. I'll show you that. I'll just generally just go by what's happening, what's new, stuff like that, updates. We'll see where this channel goes. But so far, this channel is good. So, happy to be back. Kind of got lazy with it and then put it off for so long that my channel, I just decided to restart my channel pretty much. But anyway, hope you guys have a good day.